Okay, so this is my very first video. I feel super weird doing this, but I kind of think it's important. So, my name is Rachel, and I've been a photographer for 10 years. So I just wanted to make videos to share the mistakes that I've made so that you don't make them too. So let's get going. Okay, so tip number one would be don't stress your first roll. As I said, I screwed up my first 3 rolls, and even the first exposed roll, though I loved it, it was definitely not perfect. And I think you just have to remember that you're a beginner, and you may have been shooting digital forever, or you may have shot film in the past, but you're starting over again, and with everything, practice makes perfect. So just practice, and you will get the hang of it. The second tip I would give you would be overexpose your film. This is a very commonly understood practice with film photography, but if you've never done it like me, I had no idea. So I would rate my film at box speed, and it would come out kind of muddy and kind of dark. With film, you get a lot more detail in the highlights than you do with digital. So when you overexpose it, you're still being in a very safe zone if you do it by a stop or 2, sometimes 3 depending on the film. Start with only 2 types of film, one color and one black and white. The reason for this is the film is so different, varying from brand to brand, from type to type. And you might start getting really confused if you try all the different kinds at once, which is exactly what I did. I wanted to try all the film. And when I did that, though, it was a good learning experience, and I don't like to say like it was such a mistake, but it kind of confused me, and I had a hard time with consistency and a hard time understanding what each film does and what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are. So if you start with one color film and one black and white, then you will be able to learn everything you need to learn about that film, and then you can go from there. Always have a dummy roll. I have just recently realized that, especially if you're a collector like me and you like to try out these different cameras, having a dummy roll on hand is great. Many times I loaded film incorrectly because I had never done it before, and then ended up ruining the roll or wasting lots of shots. So definitely start out with a cheap roll, and if you have ruined a roll, keep it and let it be your dummy roll. And I just like a marker or crayon, in this case, dummy roll on it. And this is really helpful for 120 because like for example, for my TLR camera, I bought one, destroyed 2 whole rolls because I didn't understand how to load it. It was a very finicky camera, it was very, very old, and so this is my ruined roll, and I just bought another TLR today, and I used it to practice rolling, and it was just perfect. So find a good lab. This is something that I think is a little bit gray. You don't necessarily need to use a super high class lab in the first place if you don't even know if you exposed your film properly. But so for me, I started by exposing my film, and I actually took it to Walgreens. They just stopped doing it, but before they stopped doing it, I would take it to Walgreens and just to make sure I like actually got the roll right. But after the first few, I would say maybe 3 or 4 at the most, you would want to find a really good lab. I've been using the Fine Lab. They're awesome. They give you feedback, which is really great for beginners. And then you'll get really gorgeous scans back and properly developed film. Have fun! Of course, film is super, super fun, and that's why most people do it. There's of course an opinion on style and if it's so much better, but really it's just a lot of fun. It's really hands-on. You're really just getting your hands on your pictures, and you're feeling the clicks, and you're hearing the shutter, and it just sounds so good and it feels so good. So have fun and don't stress it. That's all I can think of for now. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, feel free to leave a comment. I will try to cover lots and lots of things in the next few weeks.